I guess lastly for characters, we'll go on to Shredder.
Oh,
Very
okay.
different. Very
Are,
different.
are we really gonna talk about Shredder?
It's literally easy. Literally, the old school one is the most basic thing ever. But then when you look at the fucking brand new one, this man literally has a whole arsenal for no reason.
It's a robot.
He's held down.
You're right. The original design, it's just like a women's blouse, but it works. Like it.
You're listening to a Valiant Star podcast. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome back to another beautiful episode of Nerds Be Like, Season 2, Episode 6. My name is Brandon, and with me today, we're the amazing Dunny, and we got Carlos.
Hey, what's up, man? Dude, I miss you doing the.
I miss you
doing the intros.
It's always something random every single time.
Yeah, I like that you just make it on the spot, but it all sounds consistent just because it's you know?
I try, So if you guys aren't familiar with this, I'm pretty sure Dan has talked about this multiple times in the past, but
Yeah.
TMNT, aka Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The ones we're going to compare are the 1991 to the 2014. Yeah, 2014. So Michael Bay
versus original.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But before we begin, you gotta remember to like that motherfucking video, click that subscribe button, ding that bell, and join our beautiful Discord. All that, John, will be linked in the description below.
Yeah.
So yeah, we came to a agreement. We were like thinking about ideas, and I kind of had this idea of doing a comparison thing again because I was like looking at our videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and like it's oddly the two most like viewed videos that we had was the Mortal Kombat comparison and the Broly movie comparison. I was like, I kind of wonder what else we could do.
This one's actually a really good one, honestly, too.
Yeah.
It's basically our childhoods.
Yeah, and exactly like you said, Brandon. I've said this a lot about me liking the Ninja Turtles. I said in the first episode of the podcast, like the very first one, like I told the story of like, and you know, Carlos is here, my cousin can tell you that same shit. All right, like I first time I came to the United States and like I went over Carlos's house, he was like, "Hey, you want to play some games?" It's like the first thing he said.
You got games on your phone?
And we went to his room and we were like playing like a Ninja Turtles game, like a beat 'em up kind of thing. And I ended up liking it so much that I got it. My brother and I got it for a PlayStation 2, like the first game that we got. And I watched pretty much all the movies except one of them, which we'll get into. Kind of. And I've watched all the shows except the latest one. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah, since like 2015, the Teenage Mutants that they made are very interesting. Literally, they've been even the newest one, Nick Jr. Was it Nick Jr. or was it just Nick?
I just think it was Nickelodeon.
I was not a fan.
I kind of liked it. The animation was strange, but they borrowed a lot from a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll pop in and out of like our childhood and these movies. So like kind of. To give us some form of structure, we're gonna break these down like how we did for those other episodes, and we're gonna start with story. Now, story, I would say they should probably align, but I think the Michael Bay ones, which by the way, it's not actually directed by Michael Bay. He was just produced it. Someone else directed it, but everyone just says Michael Bay.
Because it's Michael Bay.
I think so. So, I mean, I guess the most popular to like tag along the name to. It is technically similar, the two, but there's some changes that I'll get into for the other one. But for the 1990s version, Carlos, do you remember the story, or do you remember mostly the second one?
I know that the first one was like about Shredder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I remember like most of it. I know the death from
But that,
what happened. Yeah, because it was like I think that was like my favorite part.
No, it was dark, dude.
It was funny to me,
Okay. It was dark to me, but yeah, I guess so.
bro. Because Casey was like, "Oops,
Oops.
and-
Yeah.
That's why shit was funny.
Every time. No, you're right. Every time I saw that, that shit was always what? Cracking my brother and I almost said crapping. That was not intentional. Yeah, so like it's just kind of like the Ninja Turtles meet up and save April O'Neil from a Foot Clan attack. She's just kind of reporting on the crime wave in New York, and she's become a target. And they rescue her. Then Splinter's taken away by the Foot, and it's kind of like their first kind of fight. So they're broken, and then they have to like bond together once again to form their family. Because they're stronger together. You can see that like Raph is very like opposed to being in the shadows and very like I don't this shit kind of sucks. I hate being like down here. I want to like do
Be
more
free.
things. Yeah.
Fight justice.
And he's always like that, honestly. Like he's in that in like every other incarnation, even in the newer one. He kind of likes he wants to do stuff differently.
He wants to do good.
Yeah. And so like
He wants clout. That's what he wants.
he wants what?
He wants clout. He wants some Twitter followers.
No, that's honestly it's probably Michelangelo in the newer one, most likely. But yeah, like you kind of, I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, but forgive me if I don't fully know which is the definitive origin because there's been so many. I know the original cartoons had Splinter being like a human, like ninja teacher, or you know he knew that and then he transformed into a rat later, or they're two separate people, or like a separate entities. So I like this one is they're separate in the newer movie. I think it's the same thing. They're separate.
I was gonna say, I thought they all just fell into a pit of chemicals and they just who they are now.
No, I mean, do you remember that old comic that like was
Yeah.
in my room? Yeah, like I should have showed you like some panels, but it was like the Homato Yoshi, their teacher, or Splinter's teacher, in this version. He was just they're two people, but in the original comic, that one I had, he turned into Splinter, so he turned into a rat.
Yeah.
Because the way the ooze works, like the all that, it's like whatever you touch last is what you turn into. So the turtles touch the human, so they turn more humanoid, and Tomato Yoshi touched a rat, so he becomes more rat-like, but he keeps his human stuff. Okay, that sounds weird. His human figure. I'm not implying that Splinter has a dick. I'm not saying that.
What?
I said stuff, but I didn't mean it like that. This might be cut out. I don't know. Okay, so
Keep it in. Okay, we're raw now.
So the newer Michael Bay and like I guess Michael Bay produced ones, you get the turtles in like in the shadows. They're kind of peeking their way through. They're very Hulk like, very like Brandon said, fucking Dwayne Johnson. And yeah, for no reason. But like I said, April seems to be more of the main character who we follow more than the Ninja Turtles. And as she's kind of figuring out who they are, we literally find out in the story that they are her, not necessarily pet turtles, but she knew them when they were like
little
baby turtles. Yes, and they were injected with mutagen that was produced by or made by her father, and then some other scientist that's kind of a B grade villain, and they're just that's like that was that connection that no one really ever thought that was going to be a thing in this movie.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
I didn't. I wasn't a fan of that. I think that's why I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it was when I watched it, I was like, "What the hell's? Why do you know them? You're not supposed to know them."
I just connect with them.
Yeah, like it's so weird. Like there's no like when she goes down to the sewer, Splinter's like, "Oh, thank you for saving our life." She's basically like our Jesus. Like she like she saved our lives and shit. So a lot more going on. Again, for no reason. I would argue that the first one has a much the original the 90s version has a much more simpler, more straight down the line story following what the original comics were kind of going for. Even Shredder dies in the first comic. I don't know if you knew that. He
Yeah, I
fucking
do.
dies.
Like every film that I see Shredder in, he ends up dying.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know about the second one. I know he's in it, but he literally dies the first at like the first comic. He like gets hit with something and like he fucking dies.
Have you seen the what year was it? It was on Cartoon Network.
The
It was a
the one that had the 90s turtles or the 80s turtles, the mid 2000s turtles, and the original comic turtles.
It was 2007. 2007. That's what it was.
Oh, that movie.
Yeah, fucking Chris
Yeah.
Evans was in it. Oh, he was Chris Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
Casey Jones. What
Casey
the fuck?
Chris Jones. Yeah, that's
Damn.
actually the follow up to the. Technically speaking, it's the follow up to the original '90s movies, all three of them. Which timeline wise doesn't really make that much sense, but you kind of like brush over a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
So even
So
that
I-
one, fucking Splinter dies first film you see him in.
a Shredder.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the opening credits, like they defeated Shredder. Ugh. um. Yeah, and I was, I wanted to get to like the original story because I was trying to investigate earlier this week, like what, because I watched it, and I'm like, why does it feel so off? Even in rewatching, like I knew there was something before that, and I knew there was like some script leaks, but I never really looked into it. And apparently, they were gonna be the turtles were gonna be of alien origins, and Shredder was going to be a military general who had an army called the Foot, who was going to be
Yes.
played by the guy William Sachs, the guy who was the CEO guy in this one. That was original. How do you feel about that?
That's kind of weird.
It's different, but it does not capture what the Ninja Turtles are kind of what they do. Because you put alien and they're immediately taken away from their actual origin. The Ooze can be alien. Like the turtles have a lot of alien that influence in their comics, like from Krang, the Utroms, the fucking rhinoceros alien dudes. They have a lot of comics set in space, but them being from space and from a planet and this and that, like this just kind of
That's
takes a
too
little bit
much.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little bit away from it. And like I said, the original one, it kind of brings down like, or it brings a simpler story to what the turtles really are, what they stand for, and what each turtle kind of represents. Actually, we can go into that. Like characters, they're very different from one another. Like they have the basics, but I feel like they're different in most ways. So we got the original crew. We got Leo, we got Raph, Donatello, Michelangelo. We got Splinter. Casey's kind of an oddball because we don't see him in the original 2014 one.
He appears here and there
He
whenever they
appears.
need it.
Yeah. We got this. If I said April, if I didn't April, we got Shredder too, and that's like the majority connections that they have between the two. Carlos, how do you or Brandon, how do you guys remember like the original OG like turtles? Were they too silly? Were they like balanced really well?
At the time, I thought it was fine because again,
When
Oh.
kids,
yeah, it was just
Mhm.
dope. The silliness was just the best part. The
Yeah.
action scenes were just fun. The fact that there was people in suits,
yeah,
um,
and like it kind of was a little had a little charm to it.
yeah. Like I can't, like you can't really hate on the classics. You feel me?
No,
Yeah, because like it's like the classics are what made the Ninja Turtles. So when you view off of that, like if you look at them more serious, you're like, oh no, that's not how they're supposed to be.
Hmm.
They're supposed to be silly. They're supposed to have like lots of humor while they're fighting, or you know,
Yeah,
shit like
and
that.
I would also argue this movie is the darkest of all the Ninja Turtles in live action, and like it had a good balance for humor for the turtles. Like it's not just fucking Michelangelo making a fart joke. Like he's just kind of
Ralph being
being weird and
reckless,
wacky.
Leo being
Yeah.
a constructive hard leader, and then Donnie as being a smart dude.
Yeah, like they have those fundamental like the film I think builds off of that, where I think the Michael Bay one is just like they're turtles and they have this, and but like their designs are a little bit over the top and they have like too much going on, but at the same time not doing not like too much for the story or for the characters. But like yeah, you're like the design, like I said, the classic, you can't really beat the classic. They're like ripped off from the comics. They're ripped off from like the cartoon series. Like their height is perfect for like uh um they weren't
Yeah,
too large.
that's the other thing. I didn't like the designs on the new one, cause like they're not.
They look a lot more like like really, really reptilian to me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like I understand, like 2014, oh look, our CGI is great now, but it's just like you could really see the detail and how reptilian they look.
But I like that I hate that looking at this GIF looks really weird to me, but the texture on them like it looks really nice. I like that they have like different textures, not just like a flat surface. Um it's not they look like really well rendered. What's the problem is they have really weird features, like they have human lips. They have
Yeah.
like noses, like kind of like the nose holes. I'm okay with them being like different
Height and
like
built and all that.
build, like, but I don't mean in the sense that like everyone's 6 feet. I just mean like I'm okay with, like I was telling Carlos this, I'm okay if Raph's a little bit bulkier and like
Yeah. Okay.
And then like
so like
Donnie is fucking taller than all of them. Like, hold up, this bitch is 8 foot for sure.
you were saying.
the yeah, like you said, like Raph should have bulk, but make the rest of them the same size, except for Raph and like Mike, because Mike is I think he's supposed to be short.
Yeah,
Right? He's
that
supposed to
makes
be
sense.
slouching a lot, but yeah, Raph was like I would like completely understand if Raph was the only one that's bulked up, because
Yeah, I'm okay if
he
he's
likes to
a little
fight.
taller. Yeah, he's
But,
gonna
like,
be big.
Yeah, but make everyone like the exact same size. Don't make someone leaner. Don't make someone taller. Don't make someone fucking huge. Just make it all
Like
the same
that's
size.
the chart, right?
Yeah.
I like do you guys know the IDW comics, the Ninja Turtles comics?
Yes.
So I've always wanted to actually fully like sit down and read some of them, but like this is not exactly the IDW ones, but they're very similar, inspired. They're shorter than April. I'm fine with them being a little shorter. That's like perfectly fine.
Weren't they younger now?
No, I mean regardless of their age, they're not that large. Like they don't grow if they're like between like teenagers and like young adult. I mean they are teenagers, I guess. But they're short. I don't mind if they're like that short. I don't mind if they're just a little bit taller than the average human. But like 6 feet or 7 feet is kind of like, yeah, because like Donnie's like almost 7 feet in the Ninja Turtles to the 2014 one. That's
Man, he's
crazy
tall
though.
as fuck.
Well, like I think that's like the designs are strange, and like even the creators of the Ninja Turtles were like, "Yo, yeah, the designs from like the OG original movie, they're like they're directly what the co-creator and I wanted to do." They just kind of like came out really well. Like Jim Henson's the one who made the original. I don't know if he did the second one. but the Jim Henson's Creature Shop, I think it's called. The ones who built Yoda from the Empire Strikes Back. The ones who built many puppets, like I think most of the Muppets or some of the Muppets. So that guy's had a lot of experience. I think he passed away shortly after the release of the second or the first one. Actually might have been the first one. But like that, those designs are very classic. And there's a difference between the April from the original and April from the Michael Bay one.
Oh yeah,
there definitely is a big difference.
There's and I'm not gonna sit over here saying like I hate Megan Fox. That's not like my issue with it, or like my one
it's
comment.
Not Megan Fox. I mean, it's not Megan Fox. It's not April O'Neil.
See, the fact that you interchange them is like I think what it is.
It's just they want like she's a great actress and all that. It's just, they wanted a pretty face. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm okay. Like, I freaking forgot in this version, she like leans over to like take a picture of the Ninja Turtles, and Vern, the driver, he like looks over at her, and as you see an ass shot, and that's it, and he like turns back and is like, "Yo, keep doing what you're doing." Like, I forgot there was an ass shot in this, and this is like geared towards kids.
I didn't even notice.
I forgot until I saw it. I'm like, why did they do this? They didn't need to add this part into it. It could have been just easily cut. Just don't have her take a picture of them, or take a picture of the turtles. And it was kind of strange. In the original one, she's not even like a damsel in distress necessarily. She has her own like sequence where she's fighting alongside the turtles. She even grows in that too, because before she was like, not that she at the time where like the Foot Clan was like sending a message like, "Hey, shut up! You stop saying your words on air." She like aimed and like almost was like about to like hit someone with her purse or with the Raph's weapon that he dropped earlier, and then managed to hit a few of them with the purse. So she's like still hitting and fighting and like trying to protect herself. And she kind of did the same towards the end of the movie, but like she had the help of the turtles. In this, I feel like she's too close to the origin of the Ninja Turtles, and like that's what mostly bothers me. She's not. It's not just the Ninja Turtles met
you see
April.
Yeah, and they get close. No, it's literally she's tied with them immediately.
It's like saying, "Oh, she's our sister." I'm like, dude. It's kind of like exactly that.
That's basically what they're saying. Oh, you are our owner. You are our savior.
Yeah, like I think that's my own issue with April, with like she's like the main character, and plus she's the one who like originally has ties to their origin. That's kind of weird. Like it's like if that's what's like. What they thought, well, let's make this one different, like separate from the alien one. I think that's like they veered too far the other way too. But let's see. Let's actually go to Shredder. Oh, actually, no. Let's do Splinter. Let's go Shredder. Splinter's design was probably. What do you guys think between the two? Which one looks like better?
You know me. I'm gonna say OG.
Original, the new one. This man just has too much on him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes. Like
it looked like he got to like level like 99, and then he just went to the store, saved up all his money, and just like bought that. Like that's literally what the new one looks like. This man literally looks like he just saved up his whole life just to buy like everything he ever wanted.
The best gi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
no, it's like
Mr. Miyagi right there.
I can't even find GIFs to show you guys what he looks like from the newer one. I have a one from the OG one.
He has what is it? Hair tail?
You're right. There is like the actual turtles. They themselves. Splinter does have a lot going on in his design. Also, I also didn't like that in this version. that Splinter didn't know, didn't like any form of like martial arts or like didn't have any training at all. His explanation was that he learned how to do all the moves and everything because he read a book and he taught himself, and then he taught the turtles, and it like kind of leaves the gap from his original origin of him being like training like in the original movie, the OG one, him training, copying the moves of his master and like in his cage. Yeah, it's a little unrealistic.
But that's a cool version of it.
Yeah, but it's, I guess what I'm saying, it's a little unrealistic. But again, we're talking about like mutant turtles. Like
Yeah.
you kind of have to like kind of look away again. Like, oh, it's okay. But this one just like this is kind of weird to me. Like they become these great martial artists because they read one book.
And one
And
book
it was just
only.
pictures.
It was just
It was
pictures.
pictures. And that's the thing. Like literally, he could have seen the pictures and made completely another martial arts, right?
Yeah.
But he's doing the exact same thing as every martial artist. So that's what. Man,
I didn't think you'd be that upset, if I'm honest.
because it's stupid. I don't like the new one. There is so many things wrong with it. I'm just like, all right, there was no point. And then when I saw that they're making a second one, or when they made the second one, I was like, bullshit.
Dude, the second
Who
one
liked
was like a
I
trip.
asked Carlos if I think I asked if you watched it, and you're like,
And
you said something about like
somewhat, but I heard that
Yeah.
it was worse.
you didn't like it. Yeah,
It was a trip.
I think this Splinter design like combines the more like original gray look for like a rat, but also like the like how the live action one looked from the original. But the other one did have like like where would the Michael Bay one get his clothes from? Like it's not like
Yeah.
it looks too layered on. Like he looks like Obi-Wan, like robes and like a bunch of layers going on. It is too much. I guess lastly for characters, we'll go on to Shredder.
Oh,
Very
Okay.
different. Very
Very-
different.
Are we really gonna talk about
it's
Shredder?
no, it's literally easy. Literally, the old school one is the most basic thing ever. Helmet, basic accessories, basic outfit.
He's wearing purple, dude.
Yeah.
He's wearing purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a purplish red.
But
You
then
know,
when
and-
you look at the fucking brand new one, this man literally has a whole arsenal for no reason.
It's a robot.
He's
guy.
held down with all that weight.
Totally a
I blame
Transformer.
I blame Michael Bay Transformers kind of like on that. Like that looks too, and it like I
It's
feel like
stupid, dude.
if you add the sound effects from Transformers, it'll
The
line
way
up.
he jumps in, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
just transforming.
I mean, technically, it does have sound effects. Like
Yeah,
of
but, like,
Transformers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you'd expect us to hear that kind of sound on it.
Yeah, we did.
I forget. I watched it, but I forget. Oh, and like I said, in the original concept of the movie, like the original script, he wasn't gonna be Japanese like how he is originally, like all the time.
Mhm.
And they kind of just they recast him twice, I think. One in the first movie, one in the second movie. They're kind of played by three different people, the Shredder. But he has like I like the shape of the helmet, but the spikes and everything, I think it just felt too much as well.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like you're right, the original design. It's just like a women's blouse, like chainmail looking thing, but it works. Like it.
I would have accepted if they like CGI'd another guy and made him fucking huge, like, and have like good armor, but not make it all like robot like.
Robot.
Like that would have been cool.
Robot.
But
Robot.
yes, but at the same time, I think you run the risk of like making him too huge. I think if you kept
It's
him
Michael
like
Bay.
Okay, fine, but but do you remember in the second OG trilogy, the second movie, there was Super Shredder?
Yeah.
So they could have done something like that, like where he was normal size and then he became larger
Well, that's what I
size.
mean.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
like
guess so.
I don't know. I feel like there was like so much wrong with the newer ones, but you know.
Oh, I forgot. He also wears purple. Shredder wears purple in the second OG one, like
Yeah,
full
it's
on
always
purple.
purple.
No, in the other one, it's like more reddish, like cherry.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean now.
Yeah,
I thought it was always purple, but
I
yeah,
thought
I
it was
guess
purple too. It's weird.
Yeah, it's British.
So yeah, like there's, it's like night and day. Like you get a different. I can tell you right now, most likely the Shredder from the original OG probably would not be able to defeat the Shredder from the new one because there's so much like armor and so much like sharpness to that guy.
But it's all about the martial arts.
Yeah.
No?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
But it's like it's more
about power.
skill than material, right?
Mhm.
Shredder can like beat the shit out of.
He also has a spear and
Yeah.
shit.
It's like I said, it's just so basic, so easy. And then they made it too fucking
easy.
complex.
Overall, I mean the designs like it's like from like a more simpler design to this Transformers kind of melted garbage kind of look.
Yeah.
It's weird. Aside from the look, I think you get way more of like the character in the first OG one than you do in like the Michael Bay one. I guys actually, do you want to talk a little bit about that, Brandon?
Which one?
About the second one, since I know Shredder's in that, or does he just not appear so much?
He appears literally towards the last 20 minutes of the movie.
I know Krang grabs him.
He's bare, no armor, nothing.
Mm-hmm. He looks better.
He looks better there. Fight. That's when he gets his armor because like I'm gonna suit up and before this thing summons, I'm gonna defend it. And
Actually, you know what? I say he looks better, but I looked at it and it looks like Power Rangers.
it's not better.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's weird. Okay. But at least he's played by a Japanese actor too.
This shit is so stupid, man. Oh my god. That's so dumb, bro. It's literally what Brandon said. It was something so simple that you could have done, but you just made it fucking like more complex.
Complicated. Yeah, dude, and we can talk about. I would like to do like a Bumblebee versus like Transformers one, but I guess we kind of talk a little bit about the same thing, where like Bumblebee has like more rounded designs and like more.
I did like the Bumblebee movie, like a lot.
Yeah, I did too, and like the Transformers, the original one, they had like jagged edges and like parts that overlap each other that like unravel in complex ways. And okay, that's cool. I like the technology, but you're oversimplifying stuff, or like you're adding way too much where you don't need to add. The simplifying is like okay. It's not gonna just make it cheap. It's just it might end up making it like look less busy. I mean, they kind of learned their lesson by like removing stuff from the Turtles in the second out of the Shadows movie, but not enough for them to get a third movie rolling. I know we're getting another one pretty soon with Seth Rogan, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about that towards the end.
But is it a movie or is it a?
I'm pretty sure it's a movie. I don't think it's a show.
But is it?
Live action? I don't know. They didn't say. I hope it's like something where they kind of, we'll talk about it in a second.
All right.
We're gonna move now on to the action.
All right. Okay. Hands down. All right.
Okay.
I'll give it to the 2014 one.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Okay. Because it's more open world and it had many more opportunities and CGI and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I give it to that. To the 1990 movie. It's just martial arts, you know. It's just your typical kind of
Dude.
fighting movie.
I'm like
Even though it's like it's my favorite OG movie, you know, but I have to give it to, you know, 2014
you saying
one.
that, made me like re-listening to the Mortal Kombat episode. We said the exact same thing. Like it looks
Yeah.
fucking beautiful. This last one with like the fatalities and everything. But like some of the action was like from the original. It was like simpler martial arts going on, but we gave it to the newer one because they were doing the different things with their martial arts.
Like okay,
I'm pretty
so
sure.
basically, yeah. The only thing that was more of the better side.
I mean,
on
it's also
new
it's the
Mortal Kombat.
time, it's the era.
Well, not even that. It's just like on the original ones from Mortal Kombat, it's literally all martial arts, which is cool, right? But they never really showed the best of the special moves or fatality. On the newer one, it's literally just recapturing the same martial arts but adding the effects now. So that's it's literally what it is. But on this one, completely different. These motherfuckers go on an adventure.
These motherfuckers doing too much.
Dude, I will say I do really like the snow chase sequence in the Michael Bay one.
Yeah, that was really dope.
Cause you've never seen the Ninja Turtles in that kind of environment. It was like really refreshing to see, like them kind of using their shells as like a
Snowboard.
I was gonna say like
Sled.
a sled, but yeah, snowboard.
Was it when they jumped out the plane?
No, it was after the lab and they're trying to escape and they're getting chased by fucking all these military vehicles shooting missiles at them.
Okay.
The plane was the second movie, I believe.
Yeah,
it's like one of the opening
was the
sequences.
second one.
Yeah. Yeah, and like so it was really, really refreshing to see the Ninja Turtles kind of going in that kind of environment. But I also remember seeing the trailer like and seeing how just heavy and large Raphael was when he hit that truck.
Yeah, that was really cool though. I gotta give it.
Sure.
Cool.
That was like, I think seeing that like at the final shot of the trailer, I'm like, God damn,
this man is built.
Yeah, this guy's built different. Yeah, and there was like in this other one or the original one, your OG, it was simpler martial arts. You get like which I will say it's also very impressive because they were in suits. They were in suits, and also they used stunt suits with like
in a way.
Yeah, they used stunt suits where like I believe the animatronic controls to control the face, the eyes and everything were like removed. And like they had like more eye holes in the mouth area, I believe. So they could perform the stunts. So, impressive on that part. Like they're doing a lot of movement where they can't do a lot of movement. And I know like I've heard like or read articles saying like that the turtle actors, the people inside, they were in these like really hot suits. Like both the actors doing the stunts, the ones acting just in general in the suits. That's impressive, to say the least.
Oh no, yeah.
But they were limited to, I guess, what they had for like doing stunts. But they had pretty good ones. Like I really like that the one where Raphael is fighting the Foot Clan at the top of April's apartment, and he's like one versus like 20, 25, 30 maybe. It's a lot of them, but like he's doing his best to like maneuver around. There's another sort of smaller fight in the house where you kind of get a little bit goofy with like the Ninja Turtles throwing water at or like spitting water at the Foot Clan, or Mikey using like symbols to hit someone in the head, stuff like that. Like very kind of silly action. But you're right. No, you're right. I think the 2014 one kind of has that, just based on technology and special effects or VFX. All right, we can now move on to
music.
Music, right? Okay. I know we had a little discussion of well, not discussion, but like I know I've talked maybe Eric about it, where he was like, I don't wanna mess with like Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa when we because I was like joking, are you gonna join the episode? Because I knew he was gonna say no, but it's just a joke. But this is the new one I'm talking about, obviously. But they had the Shell Shock song that
That was literally the hit of it.
yeah I'm gonna be honest. I know I listened to it when I came out of the theater and I was like, shit, I'm gonna look this shit up. But the score itself to me was really bare bones. Was really like just the most basic, and like I'm sure that either composer from the OG and the new one, they like did their best. Um, but it just felt too. It sounded too similar to Iron Man 3 because it's the same composer. But it felt so generic that it didn't. I didn't like. It didn't capture like, my attention in any way. However, the OG one had, I think, a more interesting sound of the Turtles. Obviously, it's a little more dated. You get a little more
It was the 90s, so you got a lot of guitar.
Yeah, I'll share a few tracks that I really like. This is like the opening where you see the Turtles logo. But I also I think the music is heightens the action, and there's so much tension, and like you really feel it from the tracks, especially the Tatsu attack. Like you really feel that energy where like they're like,
That's when the goosebumps kick in and all that.
yeah, dude. I can tell you right now, that was probably my favorite sequence. It was so badass. Like hearing this, because you feel like you're like in a Rocky movie or something. Like it feels
Yeah.
that kind of like adrenaline pumping, and like, and it's the Ninja Turtles, and like
Yeah.
like I'm not thinking about that when I'm little, but like like listening to it now, I'm like, holy shit, yeah, this really feels like, um, this is like some battle music, but like so distinct and so unique to the Ninja Turtles franchise. And like I found this too, by the way. If anyone wants to listen to it, it's on Spotify now. I found it like a couple days ago, and I'm like, I can't believe it's on here now. I've been looking for it. So like that like the fight between Shredder and the Turtles at the end had so much tension. And you like, if you guys, I don't know when was the last time you guys like rewatched it, the newer one, because I know some of it is based on memory, or the original, I should say.
The original or first or the 2014?
The OG, sorry, the OG.
Oh, no, the OG, I do remember.
I feel like you went to see it, or you saw it, not theaters. You weren't born yet. I'm sure you saw it. You said on like VHS, right? Or is that the second one?
No, the second one I had it on VHS.
Mhm.
But the first one is when I saw it on DVD. But this was like
2005.
probably 6.
Okay.
Or whenever the time you actually started getting into it more than I did is when I think I first saw it with you.
Honestly, it was probably 2005, 2006, because I did get that DVD that had the double pack. I had not the third one, but it was like the first and second, and I like would rewatch it so much. It was probably around the same time like the 2007 one came out too, because I had this whole phase, bro, and you know it because you know me. I had this whole phase, like every time I would get into something, like I would always get in, like I was telling Carlos too, like I had these like phases that like when we talked about the Mortal Kombat movie, all that would be in my recommended on YouTube would be like Mortal Kombat 110 facts, or like who would win, or the timeline of Mortal Kombat. Like I would have shit like that, and I get into shit like real like concentrated, and I get really kind of, it's like a phase, I guess you can say. And I had that a couple Ninja Turtles phases growing up where like I wanted to, and that too, like I wanted to build like their Ninja Turtle car, like with like a shoebox and glue and like cardboard, and it was like always like super fun to like imagine that shit.
Yeah.
But you're right, Carlos. There is a lot of guitar, and if you're listening to the
it's a lot of
the
synths.
track,
Guitar.
yeah. But is it something that like you kind of say? I know because you like music. Would that be like your first choice for like a Ninja Turtles? like
or if it was
soundtrack,
around that time.
or just
or-
anything. Just like, how would you like? Would you also like agree that that's a good sound for the Turtles at the time? Yeah, I guess at the time.
See, at the time, yes, like because that's what is like more mainstream to do.
Yeah, and it would kind of fits in, like you said, it fits into that era of like music style. I do think that like if they remade or not remade, but if they did make a new Turtles movie like the one we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the Seth Rogen one, whether it's animated or it's not, I think if they go with a more original kind of comic look or the IDW designs,
Yeah.
I think they can pull off a soundtrack that's very retro, very 80s, 90s inspired, because a lot of the things that we're getting now are like that. Like say like Thor Ragnarok or Love and Thunder. They're gonna be super 80s
Yeah.
inspired. The Guardians as well. There's another Bumblebee, same thing. We get like another Bumblebee treatment there. It's gonna, and I don't mean like set it in the 90s. It's possible, but
Bumblebee was like the movie was set in the
the
80s,
80s.
I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why they had to like bring music like that or create music like that.
Would you want them to have the Ninja Turtles movie be set at that time,
Yeah,
like the
I
new
would.
one?
I would.
I think it'd make a
'Cause
good sense to do that.
you can if Seth Rogen does it right, he could probably set it the time when they're actually like still young. They're not like, yeah, we're gonna do all this and this and this and this and this, right? It's
Mhm.
like their early stages of becoming, the Ninja Turtles. They're
Yeah, and
still
I mean,
goofy. They still got to learn about themselves a lot. They're working on the technology.
yeah. No, you're right. I think if they said it, I mean, because I've always thought about that. I'm like, if they really want to do like not a period piece, but if they want to set it in the 90s or the 80s, when like there was that Ninja Turtle like or Turtle Mania, what they called it, and that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Is that you back, Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. We're talking about the Seth Rogen movie or like what we would kind of like to see. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Wait, what?
You didn't know that?
Oh,
Really?
He's producing the next Ninja Turtles movie.
yo, that
Yeah.
one's gonna be hella comedic.
I hope it is. I really hope. Because, dude, Seth Rogen, and then them.
He said it's set for 2023. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's a CG. Oh, there you go. It is a CG animated movie.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, he announced it on Twitter that he's working on that. He had a like like on like the chemistry symbols and shit.
Yeah.
He like had like a school notes that maybe the turtles would have written or something on paper.
Oh, that's dope.
And maybe this might be like him learning shit from like Master Splinter, and this is his notes. This is technically Leonardo's notes. Yeah, so we're kind of just talking about like maybe what if it would be set at a different time period. It probably isn't now that I look at it again because it says August 11th, 2023, but that might be the release date.
I
don't
mean,
know.
either way, if it's set up in in our time,
Yeah, modern. Yeah,
it still wouldn't be bad. It's just don't make it so complicated, like complicated, like just the basic stuff,
yeah,
Because
You don't
like
have to be
it's
extravagant.
I still want that concept of them growing up,
Yeah.
not like get right into it. I still want them to learn everything.
yeah, and also I kind of neglected to mention like I think that the first one, it had a lot of heart. The OG had a lot of heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it had its goofy moments, but it had like I remember there was a time where like I like watched it and like I was kind of not sad, but like I watched the middle where Raph, after getting like beaten the fuck up,
It was like
Raph wakes he wakes up
Yeah.
and he's like, hey, what do I gotta do to get some food around here? And he actually says it like that. Don't come at me. and And Leo's like, he's awake, get some food. And like they have this like embrace, the like kind of like they like go for a hug, and Leo says, "Hey man, about what I said earlier, about not needing you and everything." And Raph's like, "Hey man, don't worry about it." And they like hug it out because they argued earlier in the movie, and it's like, what if that was his last words to Raph? He like really needed to get that out there.
I mean, I think it also shows. I'm sorry, I'm bringing back to that part where
That's fine.
Raph wakes up. I think Leo's the one that cared most about everyone. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
that's what
Well, I mean-
shows.
He was the oldest brother too, so it's just like
Yeah. Oh, dude.
What?
Do you guys know about what the original? You know how like April's drawing like the Ninja Turtles and like telling the story of like how they've progressed through like losing Splinter and everything and their loss. Do you remember that? Like in the barn
No.
where she's drawing. Okay, well she's drawing like Leo hunched over, taking care of Raph. She drew Donatello in a car while he's fixing it with Casey.
Oh, I
Right,
see
right,
what
right.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
and she's like talking about the turtles, but she doesn't mention Michelangelo. The original draft of the script, Mikey was like at this time at his lowest. He was gonna have this like he like kind of turned into Raph for a little bit. He had like so much rage and like he was really angry at like with the situation because
He
he
went
lost.
rogue?
They no, not really. Like he was like in the barn like doing like hitting like a punching bag and like training extra hard because they had at the time they thought they lost Master Splinter. They their brother Raph is like was beaten almost to death, and like he's like kind of like, what do I do? And like one of the shots they actually kept it in, but they redubbed it was one of the turtles yelling out Splinter like out loud, like into the night, and that's Mikey, but they redubbed it with Raph yelling it out. And
I would like it if it was Mikey
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, dude, it's so it would be so cool to have that kind of like
That would have made shit darker.
It would, 'cause
yeah.
that's- y'all know
More
about the
emotions.
last Ronin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know who it is. I mean, you could probably say it if you want.
Mikey, right?
It's been pretty sure it's Mikey.
Yeah. Just it would fit so like that would have been it would make things so much more because oh my god, it would have been so cool.
No, but like learning about that over like 2-3 years ago, I like looked at that scene differently. I'm like, whoa, this would have been like an entirely different movie for Michelangelo. Like you see him go through a different arc than the other turtles.
So many changes in one film
Yeah.
for him.
They decided to cut it for whatever reason, whether it was to not make it so dark or whatever they thought of in the script writing process. Or actually, probably would have been during filming because they definitely filmed that. Oh yeah, so and then I guess the last thing I was gonna say, Casey's like, I really really like Casey Jones. He's super stupid and like a lug, but like he's
caring.
like smart in like street level kind of way because he like grew up. You don't really see much of his origin, but like when you learn some of his origin in like
He basically grew up in the slums.
yeah, when you learn some of his origin in like the 2003 series, for example, like it's fucked up. I didn't quite. I'm gonna be honest. No hate on Josh Peck, but I didn't like his version in the animated 2012 series. The one on is it Cartoon Network?
I don't remember the
Oh no, it's No, it's Nickelodeon. Yeah. The that one where he was like young, high school age. I didn't like his portrayal only because I could only hear Josh Peck. Like I couldn't envision Casey. And did you? I guess we can touch upon it really quickly. Did you think? I didn't like it based on what I saw, but did you think Stephen Amell did a good job?
Yes
he just
and
there?
no.
I think if he played it like he played Arrow, more like
It's just he was Casey Jones that he played in the second. He was very goofy in my eyes.
childlike to me.
Yeah. And that's not who Casey is. Like you said,
No.
Stephen Amell, great actor. I love him.
Yeah, yeah.
If he played it more
really
like
good.
Oliver Queen in that type of sense, but less
His
like
version, yeah.
serious, I think he would have been. I think Casey in the second film would have been a lot better.
Do you have any opinions on the music? Yeah, I think you kind of left around that point.
It's
Or you
just,
didn't pay too much
it
attention
was
to it.
more of the older versions. When it came to the music, it was perfect for the scene, perfect for the scenario, on par, like perfect. But
Mhm.
when it comes to the new stuff, it's more about just action scenes. You feel me? There's no
Yeah.
really heart moments, stuff like that. So it's just like when it came to the fighting, so like you said, generic fighting scene, fighting sequence music, and then you hear, you know, the soundtrack songs come out of nowhere, and you hear fucking Wiz Khalifa in your ear blasting. It's just like, okay, cool, but like,
There's no substance.
yeah, like you don't feel for the moment. You mostly feel the song.
Yeah. So I mean, do you guys want to say anything else, like before we decide which one we prefer? Even though it may sound like we have already picked before it started. You guys want to say anything else? Any like memories or any like?
They're all good films. Don't get me wrong, but obviously, you know,
I think it's just
some are
depending-
better than others.
It's just timing. We
That
grew
too.
up in the OG era, right?
Oh sure,
And every
yeah.
kid is gonna say, "Oh yeah, the OG was better," but they're gonna say their year. They're not gonna
They're
say
the kids of now. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And look, I understand that, bro. I so understand that like the '90s version is dated. I understand like the references are like I watched it the other day. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I think I just like
didn't
the fact that they were in suits doing the stunts themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sure, they were in like mocap suits in the Michael Bay ones, but it just was a little different. When I saw those set pictures, I was kind of hopeful, but then I realized that they were like the tennis balls were at the top, like real top, 6 feet top. I was like, yo, that's how fucking big are the turtles? But like, you're right. There's that like level of like not disbelief, but like you believe that the Ninja Turtles are there in the like in our performing martial arts and in eating pizza in those rubber suits because it like looked real. Like, and sure, maybe some of the words didn't like line up with the dialogue, and it, it's difficult because sometimes timing can be different or off. But go ahead.
Oh my bad. Okay. I'll say honestly, if they made the Ninja Turtles like the new ones, the 2014 stuff like that, in a sense like the way Rush Hour is, I probably would like it a lot more.
What?
Okay, no,
What do you
hear me
mean?
out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Jackie Chan
Uh-huh.
did all the stunts. You see all the all the people in the back, professionally trained actors and fighters. You even saw Chris Tucker. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he he did his own stunts too. So it's just like I think.
I just was so confused with why you said Rush.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
But
do you
then
mean the tone?
there was also it was comedic relief in that times, but there was also serious, scenes, but there was badass scenes.
Okay, I'm gonna send this picture. Send it like looking at. Can you see it? It's still loading
Yeah.
for me.
I like that.
Yeah, you see that design, like
see, you know how better that looks.
yeah, and it was like more more rounded features. Like it's okay if like they're like they have colors shown. I like if they have like those color like belt buckles and all that.
Yeah, that's
Like
tight.
them having
See,
like
but
more
you see-
rounded features.
Raph is built.
Yeah.
If they made them like this, I would have liked this better than dude.
We're getting up
You
in
have
arms
one
about this.
You had one job.
You
bro.
had one
No,
job.
literally, it's perfect. It's literally just
Yeah.
Mikey is a perfect height. He's the shortest one. Donnie's the brother. You could tell. Look how broad he's standing up. He's
Mhm.
fearless. And then Donatello, bro, he's everything.
He's lean, mean, and green.
He's everything. He's all of them in one.
Oh, actually, before we decide, on which ones we like better. Which turtle do you guys like the most? Or like
Mikey.
Mikey? Okay.
I like Donnie.
I like Donatello. I'm not saying like I don't like Michelangelo, but to me sometimes Mikey gets a little extra.
See, I have a shit ton of humor to the point where it's just like I laugh on my own jokes, and then Mikey does the same thing. He literally laughs on his jokes, and he's always goofy, and he never likes being serious, unless the moment has to be serious.
I like Donnie because he's the underdog, basically.
I thought you were gonna say because he's purple.
Oh, that too. I like me my purple.
Yeah.
He's the underdog. He's all in one, and he got a bow staff.
I like the fact that he's like not the most well trained, but like he knows how to fight. I just mean like he fights in a different style, like more of an intellectual style, rather than like say Raph is more of a brawler.
Heads on.
So yeah, which one? We'll go down the line. Brandon, which one did you like better?
1990.
Okay. Yeah, I also said the 1990.
Bro. You can skip me.
I think we all can agree.
Yeah. And look, I didn't want to make this just to shit on the 2014 one.
No, like they're all great. They're great, all of them.
It had potential.
Yeah, it had potential. Like it just to me, it felt like it was. You know what it was? It felt like it was trying to be a Transformers movie, disguising itself as a TMNT movie.
This was also because this was literally the time when Michael Bay was at his peak with
his peak. Yeah.
So they wanted the stunts and all that shit.
The dialogue feels weird to me. It's like so many people pointed out when I was like watching like video essays, like the dialogue is fucking weird. And I'm like, yeah, it really is. Like April's was like kind of talking nonsense for like 20 minutes. Oh yeah, so I guess the 1991 wins.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think on that behalf. If you grew up with either or if you were like somewhere in the middle where you like both. Like let us know what you guys think. And yeah, I'm like I can't wait to see what Seth Rogen has installed for the future of the franchise.
For that too.
Yeah, it's like what, next year I think. It says August. So yeah, like mid next year.
Next summer.
Probably what, trailer maybe December? No, not December. Fucking March of next year maybe. We'll make it a trailer.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Or if it's animated, it might be like 6 months before.
Most likely get a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. December probably teaser, I think, because it is an animated movie.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna improve. Yeah. All right. So if that was it, I think we can call it a finished episode.
That's how you spell it?
Cowabunga?
I thought it was an L in it. I thought it was Calabunga.
Oh, it's Kawa.
Oh shit! I've been living my life a lie.
I've made a funny
Cowabunga? That sounds weird to me.
Cowabunga. Cowabunga?
Calabunga. The L just a lot better for me.
It sounds weird to me. All right, I guess we could let's finish the episode. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Nerds Be Like podcast. I almost called it of the Ninja Turtles podcast. I mean it is for this episode. Let's see. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts from, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube. Subscribe to that. And let's see, we got social media. Nerds Be Like Pod. We're on Instagram and TikTok at the moment. If you want to send us a future topic you want us to cover, anything like that, you can do that at nerdsbelikepod@gmail.com. Spotify right now has a brand new review button that you guys can do that if you feel so inclined. But actually, yeah, listen to the A24 episode that came out. For us, it came out yesterday because we're recording this on a Thursday. But listen to that. It was super fun. Just hearing Eric and Patty ramble as like talking about their favorite A24 movies.
Just dumb rambling.
Yeah, well, it's kind of fun. They were they're having a good time talking about things. Like Patty was talking about Robert Pattinson's acting for like I don't know, like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. It was really cool. Yeah, so we'll catch you guys some other time. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us. Thank you, Carlos, for joining us. And we'll see you guys some other time. All right. Peace.
Bye. Have a great time.
Bye bye.